Hello, I would like to welcome you all to the module of quantitative research. I hope all of you are doing good. I am Mohammad Fazal Hussain Qureshi. I am from medical background and enrolled in MBBS program in Southern University, Karachi. I have experience of working in more than 30 quantitative researches and have more than 16 publications and conducted various sessions on the very same topic. I am also a research advisor to the group of pandemic and health crisis. In this module, we will be learning by 6 sections. In the section 1, we will be learning about introduction to the research. In section 2, we will be learning regarding study design. In section 3, we will be learning regarding data collection methods and sampling techniques. In section 4, we will be learning regarding questionnaire designing. In section 5, we will be learning regarding data analysis using SPSS, and in section 6, we will be learning about data visualization and presentation. So with this brief introduction, I would like to start with the first section, that is introduction to the research. So what is research? There are many definitions regarding this topic, but the two definitions that I think best define the research are written here. The first one is research includes any gathering of data, information, and facts for the advancement of knowledge. The second one is research is quest of knowledge through diligent search or investigation or experimentation aimed at the discovery and interpretation of the new knowledge. Research is associated with human life since the beginning of the time, and it is due to the research that we are discovering and developing new technologies day by day. For instance, if you want to buy a new gadget, you will take some time and research about it and compare it with other gadgets available in the market and determine which one is best for you. So there are two basic approaches to conduct a research. One is deductive research and other is inductive research. So in deductive research, reasoning works from more general to a more specific topic. We might begin with thinking of a theory about a topic of interest. We then narrow it down to a more specific hypothesis that we can test. For example, you you read a theory regarding the relationship of stress with sleeping hours and you are interested to work on this thing. So you narrow it down to conducting a study on a relationship of stress with sleeping hours among the students enrolled in the summer research program. This approach is mostly used by student and junior researchers. The next approach is known as inductive research. Inductive reasoning works the other way, moving from a specific observation to the broader generalization and theories. In inductive reasoning, we begin with a specific observation and measures begin to detect patterns, regularities, formulate some tentative hypotheses that we can explore, and finally end up developing some general conclusions or theory. For example, you read upon a study relating to the impact of artificial intelligence on human workload, and you find that really interesting. And then you find some similar articles and analyze them very closely and come up with a theory that artificial intelligence reduces the workload. This approach is mostly used by senior researchers and scientists who have sufficient experience and knowledge to analyze the relationships among the different factors and form theory. Now we're moving towards the characteristic of formal research. So the first point is start with a question or a problem. The second point is there should be clarity regarding the objectives. Design a detailed layout plan and follow it out throughout the research. Divide the principal problems into more manageable subproblems. Uh, Clearly specify if any assumptions are made. Data collection methods and plan for the data analysis should be planned in advance. Moving towards the steps of the research. So the first step is the selection of the topic. The second step is literature review. It is done in order to determine the gap of the knowledge and later on work on it. Then the third step is formulation of the objectives. Then the fourth step is research methodology. Appropriate study design and methodology should be picked for research. Then we will learn more regarding that in upcoming sections. Now moving towards the next step, that is collection of data. So the sample population, inclusion and exclusion criteria should be determined along with the sample size. Then the next part is analysis of data, and that leads to the presentation of the final results. Now moving towards the type of the research, they have four basic type of research. The first one is known as basic. So the basic research is usually considered to involve a search for knowledge without defined goal of utility or specific purpose. The example for this type of research is a random person reading a newspaper. He doesn't have a specific objective to get from that, but he learns new knowledge from it. Moving towards the next type, that is known as applied. Applied research is a problem oriented and is directed towards a defined and purposeful end. So in this type of research, we are searching for a specific topic using different books, web engines, and newspapers. The next type of research is known as qualitative research. It is concerned with understanding the processes which underlie various behavioral patterns. Qualitative is primarily concerned with why. In this type of research, people's opinion and their views are noted and assumptions are made further on that. Now moving towards the last type of the research, that is quantitative research. It follows a deductive reasoning process and involves the collection of analysis of quantitative, that is numerical, data to identify the statistical relationship of the variables. It is the only type of the research in which we can establish a relationship and we can prove it. So the quantitative research is defined as a systematic investigation of phenomena by gathering quantifiable data and performing statistical, mathematical, or computational techniques. Quantitative research collects information from the existing and potential sample population using sampling method and sending out online surveys, online polls, and questionnaires, the results of which can be depicted in form of numerical after careful understanding of these numbers to predict the future of the product or service and make changes accordingly. For example, whenever we order food from an online app, after the food is delivered, there is a notification regarding the rating of their service on the basis of the food, packaging, and delivery, etc. So this is how the companies determine that which part of their service should be improved in order to gain the maximum profit and customer satisfaction. There are six basic characteristics for quantitative research. The first one is structured tool, such as survey, poll, or questionnaires are used to gather the quantitative data. Using such structured method help in collecting in-depth data from the survey respondent. Sample size. Quantitative research is conducted on a significant sample size that represent the target population. Appropriate sampling methods have to be used in accordance to the research objectives. Close-ended questions. Close-ended questions are created as per the objective of the research. These questions help to collect quantitative data and hence are extensively used in qualitative research. In the close-ended question, we give the respondent a specific set of options from which they have to choose their answer. While as compared to its counterpart, open-ended question, we ask them for their opinion and they have the freedom to express themselves in form of words. The next step is prior researches. So various factors related to the research topic are studied before collecting the data from the sample population. So before starting our quantitative research and before designing the questionnaire, we should have a deep insight of the previously published literature on the same topic, and it helps us to determine which factors to include in our questionnaire and our research study. Quantitative data. Usually quantitative data is represented by table, chart, graph, or any other non-numerical form. This makes it easy to understand the data that has been collected as well as prove the validity of the research. We have discussed this in detail in the last section of this module. Generalization of the result. Result of this research method can be generalized to an entire population to take appropriate actions for the improvement. So here is an example of quantitative research. An organization that conducts an event collecting feedback from the event attendees about the values that they see from the event. By using an event survey template, the organization can collect feedback about satisfaction level of the customer during various phases of the event, such as the sales, pre and post event, the likelihood of recommending the organization to their friends and colleagues, hotel preferences for their future events, and other such questions. For example, I would like to end the section 1 of our module. I will meet you in the section 2 regarding study design. Until then, thank you so much and take care of yourself.